the problem that Trump is having in this race, if he's having one, and I mean, he is in that he's not running away with it. So why is that? It's, of course, the gender gap. And I mean, there are definitely hangover effects of January 6th and all that too, even with men. But the biggest problem is women don't like Trump. Mm-hmm. And I know there are lots of female Trump voters listening to this right now saying, I do. I'm saying countrywide, far more women dislike Trump than like him. And I just don't know, like, how do you get through to those women? You know, because I want them to listen to us talk. Like, you do not seem like a far right or even necessarily a right. I've never asked you what your politics are. I don't care.
I'm pretty middle of the road,
yeah.
You know?
And I, of course, had a very complicated history with Trump. All I can tell you for sure is that, you know, within the last 8 years, I really did not much like Trump at all. Mm-hmm. But then I watched him govern. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the alternative and I looked at the country. And at some point, this becomes a binary choice. And that's kind of how I felt in 2020. And I did vote for Trump in 2020, even though it was a much more difficult decision for me then. You know, I was still like, I don't know if this is a good person, but I like the policies. And now I'm at the point where I just see Trump very differently. I don't think Trump is a bad person. I think he's controversial for sure. And he says incendiary things. He's not the most sensitive character, but I don't really give an F. I feel like I don't want the most sensitive character. I would elect one of those effete Democrats if I wanted that.
Right.
I want a tough man. When he stood up after getting shot, that's like just a before and after moment. I want someone who's not afraid of China or Russia or Chuck Schumer. That was one of the best moments last night. He almost like just must Chuck Schumer's hair. Like he's like, he did it.
Yeah.
They want us to believe Nancy Pelosi got rid of Biden. It was him. He did it. This guy right here.
So funny.
He's not afraid of any of these people. Like, even just sit on the same stage with Tish James.
Yeah.
How could he do it? That takes real balls. Anyway, I hope these women can see it's about more than his language, whether he's rough around the edges. You know, and it's the way we ended our show yesterday where he spoke to that Bloomberg journalist, Maureen, and the guy was like, oh, is it proper to call him Gavin a new scum? Any one of the CEOs in this room would get fired for using language like that. And Trump was like, I don't care. They don't get attacked like I do. They don't have to fight the way I do.
Right.
He's so right. There's never been somebody more attacked than Trump. And so this is how he's chosen to get through it.
Right.
You know, to be bare-knuckled and not unforgiving, because he will forgive you. If you're warm to him, he'll be warm to you. But if you're not, he'll keep it going forever. And to be sometimes petty. But it's that same streak that makes him stand up for Brett Kavanaugh, that makes him not fold when he gets indicted 4 times, when they literally try to steal his entire corporate fortune, when they accuse him of rape in a 30-year-old trumped up charge. All of that has to come in this package. I really hope women consider that in deciding whether he's too much.
So, to your disclosure about who you voted for in 2020, I voted for Biden. And I knew he was not fully compos mentis. I knew he was installed there by the party, but I felt a real kind of fatigue, I think, with COVID, with lockdown. Trump's administration had felt extremely erratic, people coming and going, and it just seemed like that was a check for normalcy. And I felt relieved when I did it, even though Joe Biden would never have been my first choice. Now, I am also someone who has been yelled at personally by Donald Trump. I had nothing like what you had, but I know what it's like. And I have to tell you, Megyn, it was a high watermark of my career to be yelled at by this guy. And he kept going to the point where I said, sir, I think I have to let you go. Like, you must have more important things to do than yell at the likes of me. But I think what's happening is you have to really, I look at, you know, there's sort of this argument like, well, you're kind of at this point voting for a person, and then there's this whole apparatus that really runs the country. But when I think about the last person in the room or the 3 a.m. call argument, all I can think about is Joe Biden in the Situation Room being told by his top military advisors, his top war strategists, don't exit Afghanistan like this. Don't. Please don't. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to. So it matters. It matters. And every time Kamala Harris opens her mouth, she is not for us. She's not for anybody but herself. She's really not. And I truly believe, yes, you should always be suspicious of anybody who wants this amount of power. But we do know how Trump governed in the first term. This country did really well under him, really well. And you kind of know what you're going to get. You do know.
I actually think that Trump's, his ego, his enormous ego, and the fact that like everything is a reflection of him that's close to him, the Trump brand, Trump Tower, his Trump company, Melania, all of it. Like, I think that's how he sees. It's not a bad thing to have him feeling that way about the country. Like, the country does well, I do well. It looks good for me. That actually, we can use that to our advantage. That's how I thought it played out the first time around. He took personal pride in the U.S. successes, and he took any losses personally too, and like wouldn't allow it and would stay on it like a dog with a bone, the way he would a reporter who he thought had crossed him, the way he would do a political enemy who he thought wouldn't stop opposing him. I just think it's actually a net positive. All the tumult that comes with him personally, I think net, it's a positive for us as a country. And you look at the other side, it's like, I do think that Bret Baier questioned Kamala Harris about, what did you know about the mental acuity?
How amazing was it that someone finally asked that question?
Yes. We've given her a total pass. And just today, Maureen, he's overseas. I think he's in Berlin, President Biden. Look, this is circulating on Twitter right now. Just take a look at the current state of our sitting president. Okay, look at this. I don't know if you've seen this video. Watch this. I'll describe it for listeners. He is walking in like he is 200, pointing at the floor, trying to figure out where to stand. Oh, and then he stops and thinks he's nailed it like a 2-year-old with a big smile. Anybody who's ever spent time with a 2-year-old relates to what he just did there. Unsteadily walks out, and you have that feeling as the adult, like, oh, if you're going to make it. Then when you can see he nails his spot, he looks up and gives a big smile, just like you've told your little junior to do for his school picture or his school play.
I know.
She covered that up and refuses to take responsibility for any of it.
I could not believe he asked that question. I was like, finally. Because when I was watching the debate, I was like, are we just pretending that this is not a thing that's happened? That she's not been with him every week, as she has said, or last one in the room when a big decision is being made and she knows nothing? I mean, the Biden that we just saw and that we have been seeing is terrifying. It's disheartening. It makes me extremely angry because this is what the power structure is about, just holding on to power however long you can. Biden, I think, is marshaling every last resource he has to shiv Kamala. That's what he's got the energy for.
How it looks.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing the Kamala hands.
The Kamala hands.
I started mimicking the Kamala.
I decided that's one thing I like about Kamala Harris.
Really?
Well, she has pretty hands.
Well, she does, and they're very well manicured. And
yeah.
She has like a very expensive like gemstone. I'm sure Dougie gave it to her.
I'm sure he did.
Seems like a piece of apology jewelry to me.
I was just going to say, maybe after a fight.
After a little indiscretion, maybe, But I think that, watching that video, I've never seen Joe Biden as animated in recent memery as he was talking shit to Barack Obama.
Yes, the lip readers say it was about her.
Yeah.
She's not strong.
Not like me.
Yeah.
Not like Methuselah.
Yeah. He knows. Okay. By the way, here's the lip reading thing. Okay. I don't have the translation in front of me, but was it the New York Post or the Daily Mail? Somebody hired a lip reader to try to figure out what they were saying. And he was saying, she's not as strong as I am. And it was the Daily Mail. I don't have it in front of me anyway. You can.
It was something like that. And Barack Obama, I think, was saying like, yeah, I know, or I agree. This is at Ethel's funeral, right? Ethel
yes,
Kennedy,
where then Bill Clinton got up there and said like the weirdest stuff about how they always flirted together. Like, what do you...
And how he
what are
was
you doing?
Like, the replacement rates are down. We need more women like you to just shoot them out.
Okay. Wait, my team sent me the transcript. Here it is. Early in the conversation, Biden says to Obama, she's not as strong as me. Obama solemnly replies, I know, that's true. We have time. Obama then says to Biden, no, that's not on, presumably looking at a mic, to which Biden simply responds, Obama adds, I think it's important that we can have some time together. We'll take it at face value. Biden then appears to back his predecessor up, saying, yeah, we'll get there in time. Obama then turns his back to the camera and says something to Biden, to which Biden responds, uh-huh. So the relevant part is, she's not as strong as me. I know, that's true. We have time. Not much. So that's according to the Daily Mail's lip reader. We don't know whether that's in fact what happened, but I think you're right. He is trying to shiv her because it would be the greatest I told you so for Team Biden ever, right? Like, you should have stuck with the one that brung you.
100%.
Health has been a big topic around the country over the past few weeks. And one thing we don't talk about enough is how exercise plays a vital role in that. And it's not just cardio. We really need to look at strength training. More muscle helps to boost metabolism and helps as we age. But let's face it, many are intimidated when it comes to lifting weights at a gym, not to mention the fact that we are all busy and we don't necessarily have the time. This is where Jacked Up Fitness comes in. They bring the gym to you, a full machine that fits in your house and does it all. It's an all-in-one home gym. It allows you to do multiple strength training exercises. And best of all, it comes with access to their app, which includes multiple workouts where you just push play and follow along. Jacked Up Fitness is an American company, and they are giving 900 machines this year to the Wounded Warrior Project. So if you're looking to take charge of your health and help veterans on their road to recovery, order your home gym today at getjackedup.com and enter code MK for a 10% discount on your own home gym. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.